Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of Daily Stock, we are going to consider the financial aspects of a financial giant Visa Inc. This is a payment services provider most of us have at one point or another in our life used its payment card to carry out financial transactions, and it is a service provider with presence across the world. So no matter from which part of the world you come from, you are likely to be aware of the Visa Inc. or its payment cards and related services. And for Visa Inc., the fourth quarter has been quite phenomenal, and so have been last few quarters, where it has seen the rise in the payment volumes and the transactions on its network, which has brought in more revenues. There is robust revenue growth and growth net profit as well, and this has contributed to the ongoing bull run in the Visa Inc. share price. So, our job is to look for the newer opportunities, if any, to see if we can invest afresh and still profit from this bull run. So, in light of the robust fundamentals, we are also going to evaluate the technical aspects to see the likely emerging scenarios which we can take advantage of. So, we will be going through the financial reports of the fourth quarter, for which the results were announced in the month of October. And since the earnings release, we have seen this almost 10 percentage point growth in the share price, and still the momentum is bullish. So all we have to do is look at these fine print and key highlights of the Visa Inc.'s earnings for the fourth quarter of this fiscal year. And in light of these results, then if we are in agreement with the Visa Inc.'s commentary on its financial situation, then we can also see if we can profit from these upward momentum. These are the highlights of the fourth quarter's results, which were announced October 24th. The net income is higher by double digits. The net revenue now stands at US dollar 8.6 billion, which is an increase of 11% year on year. The net income is also higher, with double digit growth being seen in the net income as well. This is the income statement summary. So we have the net revenues with 11 percentage point positive growth, and the net income is also seeing 18% growth in these scenario, and that is because the operating margin has improved, which has resulted in higher net income, even though the rise in revenue is on the slower side. These are the highlights of its financial reports, and you can access the report simply by going to the investors relation page of the Visa Inc. This is publicly available information, so you can read through the whole of the report at a later date to evaluate the fundamentals in this current scenario, where there has been a substantial rally in the share price, and right now the share price is currently closer to its recent swing high, but still the outlook is conducive to further momentum on the upside, and that is why we are looking at these financials to support our technical scenario mapping as well. We are now going to look at the forward guidance and its uh, its technical story. The Visa Inc. expects the annual growth rate to be in the double digits for the next financial years as well, and that's quite a remarkable achievement if it comes to that next financial year. We have these strong fundamentals, and even on these higher base, if the company is able to achieve the growth in double digits, that will be quite an impressive turn of event for the company, and that is why the momentum has been that strong, as not only the current revenue growth is substantial, but also the forward guidance for next couple of quarters is also on the higher side, and that is propelling these bullish momentum. Here you can see the sources of revenue. Services revenues stand at $3.876 billion, whereas the data processing revenue is at $4.25. Then the international transaction revenues are also more than $3 billions, and even if we look at this deduction of the client revenue, client incentives, the total operating revenue is quite substantial, with the total figure coming in at $8.6 billion. After that, if we deduct the operating expenses, the money Visa Inc. is spending for this revenue, this is even less than 50%. So we have quite an impressive operating margin for the Visa Inc. with its net income after tax coming in at $4.681, with the resultant EPS at $2.27. This is impressive to say the least, because not many companies are having this kind of operating margin, and is a competitive business. If we look at the cash flow scenario of the company is sitting at quite a large stockpile of cash, with its cash and cash equivalent touching $20 billion, with further addition of almost $2 billions for the last quarter. So there was an increase of 1.6 billion US dollars in the last quarter, and now the cash and cash equivalents stand at almost 22 billion dollars. Now let us head to the JForex 4, the newly released trading platform from the Dukascopy Bank SA. Here you can observe this trajectory of the Visa Inc. share price, which has been bullish since the release of the quarterly earnings way back in the month of October. We have seen this upward momentum, and there has not been any stopping sign. Even in today's session, after the initial drop, the price is trying to recover the lost ground, and currently it is not far off from the day's highs. After having touched the high of 257.4 in the last session, there has been correction of around 2 percentage point, but as long as it is not really dropping much below 250 level, I think we can go with the flow and continue to expect this bullish momentum to last. So for us, for next couple of days, if you are a short term trader, the 250 is going to be a crucial mark, and all we have to do is keep an eye on these current deep, and if it doesn't really extend much on the lower side and after due consolidation, we can indeed take our chances and count on the Visa Inc. share price to cross past the immediate swing high of US dollar 257 in coming days. The medium term to longer term outlook is also favorable for bullish trades. For last couple of weeks, the rally has been substantial, and even at this current juncture, though the price remains elevated with the current valuation being close to these this year's high, I still feel the best thing to do is to keep looking for the buy trade, and for that, I feel we will have to adopt a wait and watch approach because after having seen the substantial rally, the risk reward ratio is not going to be that favorable at the current juncture. But if we see some correction from the current levels and consolidation afterwards, we can be fairly confident of its move to continue on this formation of higher highs and higher lows. So for us, the price zone of around US dollar 235 to 240 is going to be crucial, and as long as it doesn't really decline much below the immediate swing lows, which are close to US dollar 230, we have these bullish formation of higher highs and higher lows. So we can simply rely on this formation, and if in the next correction things hold close to the 240 levels and look like a rebound is starting closer to those price levels, we can indeed go for a long trade. So keep an eye on these share price of the Visa Inc. for next couple of weeks, and if things turn out as per our anticipation, we can fairly take our chances and try to profit from this ongoing bull run. The weekly trajectory is not very different here also. There is this bullish formation with the Visa Inc. share price trading close to multi-year highs. So from 2021, it had gone in decline with a substantial drop in the market cap, but more or less it has recovered the last round of 2022 and 2023 has been a phenomenal year if you were an investor in the Visa there, then you would have seen the rise of more than 20 percentage point in its share price, and the current scenario is also quite bullish. So if you have to take any trade, it is still going to be favorable for the buy. But given the scenario that there has been substantial rise in the share price for last couple of months, here also from the longer term perspective, adopting a wait and watch approach is going to be much more prudent, and as and when we see some correction and consolidation afterwards, we can take our chances and go for a new investment decision with the opportunity alluding to the bullish momentum in the Visa Inc. So that's all from my side for today's session. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, do write to me in the feedback, and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Now it's time for me to sign off. I wish a profitable day, a profitable week, and the profitable month ahead. See you next time around with an equally interesting stock to work with. Thank you all for joining in. Goodbye.